I
Opposed?
missed the first and second, I'm sorry, Mayor.
She made the motion. She seconded it.
Okay.
And now I'm asking for a vote. All in favor?
Thank you, sir.
Motion passed. Is this guy that wants to speak?
I do not know, is
He's not here, is he?
Alvin here?
Alvin Valeska? Well, we can skip that one also. Next, in new business, we have a summary of an annual report from Randolph County Tourism Development Authority. Ms. Amber Scarlett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners. You might move this. Michael.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight and give our annual report for 2023. You have the report in front of you. And I want to give you a little explanation as to why I'm bringing you this information. You don't have hotels. You do have short-term rentals. And we do collect occupancy tax and lodging taxes off of those. So it is important that you see the impact of what we're doing throughout the county. So just diving right in, Randolph County travel generated $189.5 million in visitor spending. And that was an increase of 6.1% from 2022. Revenues in 2023 totaled $8.3 million in state tax revenues and $5 million in local tax revenues. Randolph County supported 1,145 direct tourism jobs and $43.9 million in payroll income. That sales tax generated by travel throughout Randolph County is attributed to a tax saving of $89.79 per county resident in 2023. So moving over to the occupancy tax revenues, in 2023, our revenues were at $1,406,998. That was a 9.65% increase from 2022. Again, these taxes are collected from hotels, motels, bed and breakfast, short-term rentals, Airbnbs, and some structures on campgrounds throughout the county. The average occupancy at these properties was reported at 59.5%, and that was 3.7% higher than 2022. Our visitors paid an average daily rate on those room rentals of $109.62, and that was a 6.4% increase from 2022. And from the rate charged on each of those rooms, Randolph County averaged collections of $65.63, and that was an increase of 9.5%. And I did a little research, thinking how everybody's going back pre-pandemic, how are we growing? Our average occupancy for 2024 is actually 60% year-end, so we are going to increase. In 2019, we were at 65%, so we're increasing. We're not quite at pre-pandemic rates, but we are getting closer. So the demand for those hotel rooms increased 3.4% compared to 2022. Our overall revenues increased 9.1%. So I am happy to share those positive numbers. There were a couple of years I was reporting negative numbers, and that was not fun. So moving on to destination data, we have several attractions through the county that we survey each year to see where their visitors are coming from, how many visitors they have. The total attractions that we surveyed in 2023 were 30, and they reported 1,567,930 visitors for that calendar year, and that was an increase of 10% from 2022. Visitors came from top states of North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Ohio, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Florida, Michigan, New York, and Indiana. Within North Carolina, we were able to welcome visitors from the Charlotte metro area, the Raleigh metro area, Hickory, Statesville, and Salisbury, Piedmont Triad, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, Burlington, Fayetteville, Lumberton, Laurinburg, and Wilmington and Southport. We did have international requests come from Canada as well as India and the United Kingdom. And what those visitors are requesting through our website, if you go to our request visitor page, visitor information page, you'll see on the very bottom, you can click whatever you'd like to choose. The majority will choose the general information, which is our travel guide that has all the attractions listed, all the accommodations listed throughout the county. They also request Seagrove Pottery information, North Carolina Zoo, History and Heritage, the Deep River State Trail Guide, North Carolina Aviation Museum, Petty Family Attractions, Limerick Heritage Estate, Victory Junction, Percy Valley Attractions, and Caraway Speedway. Moving on to the next section, we also operate and oversee the I-73-74 Visitor Centers in Seagrove in partnership with North Carolina DOT. We have 10 part-time employees down there and 1 full-time employee. They are open 6 days a week. I do encourage you. I know Randolph County folks don't typically know they're there because you're already on your way out. You've left your house. You'd have no reason to go to a rest area. Or you're almost home and you're like, I'm not stopping. But I do encourage you to stop in and visit with those folks. Not on Tuesday. They're closed on Tuesday. In 2003, they assisted 109,353 visitors, and that was a 71% increase from 2022. From those interactions, they were able to distribute our travel guide, 32,000 of those, the North Carolina DOT road maps, 33,750 of those, the North Carolina State travel guides, 24,850 of those. We have a guest registry system, and we were able to capture 3,420 guest registries and 43 international guest registries. Moving on to social media and website. We witnessed remarkable growth in our social media. Our page reach, representing the total number of people engaged with our content, soared across each account that we oversee. Our flagship account, Hearted NC, harnessed the power of paid target content, achieving an impressive audience reach of 7,405,522. And we did upgrade our website. That was in 2024, so I look forward to comparing those numbers with you next year. Our public relations and social media marketing efforts. In 2023, we were able to host 19 members of the media. That was local, national, and international reaches. And these media tours consisted of digital influencers, social media, bloggers, vloggers, magazine editors, and freelance writers. From those media hosting opportunities, we saw some notable results. We had total media placements accredited to the work of our public relations firm, DK Communications Group, of 331. 43 of those were online placements with estimated views of 1.4 million. 10 print placements with a total readership of 5.6 million. And social media posts generated from those digital content managers, 194. We had 4 television segments, 1 national, 1 statewide, and 2 local. And overall, we were able to support 71 of our tourism partners and small businesses in 2023. So if you move on to our visual advertising, we were able to place print and digital ads in, across the year, 210 advertisements were placed. What I'm really proud of in 2023 is, y'all know, I wish Mary John was here. She is back in the country now. The Great Trail State Coalition offered us an opportunity to partner with them, and we were able to showcase the Deep River State Trail and the Creekside Park and parts of Asheboro. So we're really able to utilize that opportunity and showcase so many parts of Randolph County that are important to trails. We also partnered with our state magazine for some more video production. We had 4 videos featuring family fun, enjoying the arts in Randolph County, exploring the outdoors, and Richard Petty, Hometown Hero. We also work with Triangle Media Partners out of the Chatham area, Chapel Hill, and Durham. We feel like that's a really good feeder market for us with the growth in that area. Locally, we supported advertising in the Randolph Hub for our local citizens to know what's going on in our area, and of course with our state magazine. So our marketing efforts continue to be supported by each of our municipalities that possess such unique attractions shining every day. And those tourism partners, those are the ones that are the true heroes for the successes in this report. The experiences they provide for visitors, customers, and guests are what help us solidify our commitment to hospitality. Their passion allows us to remain focused on being the family-friendly, affordable destination that we are, strategically located in the heart of North Carolina. So I thank you for your time tonight, and I'll take any questions you have. Mayor, do you have a question? You don't, we're just agent asking.
No, I don't have any questions. Anybody, you got any
You like
questions?
the brochure?
We
Thank you, Amber, for that.
Thank you so
Thank y'all
much.
so much. Thank you for your support.
Next, we have comments from the mayor. We're gonna have to do some, work on our ordinances because they're absolutely in shambles. We've been in contact, talking to a guy, Richard from the American Legal Publishing. They've done several of the local communities' ordinances. Get them codified and all this stuff and put them on the website. And we asked them for an estimate, and it was between $10,000 and $12,000.
And you could spread it over 2 budget years.
Right, I forgot about that. He said we can spread that over 2 budget years.
And they keep up with North Carolina general statutes.
Right.
So if anything changes in Raleigh, they automatically change the statute on the ordinance.
So what we need is approval to go ahead with this, to communicate with these people and get this done, because it's definitely, it's hindering our police department, the sheriff's department, they can't do their work properly because they don't have the proper ordinances. And this is kind of urgent.
I'll make a motion to approve the, what is it website upgrade?
Codification
Codification of the
of the
ordinances.
ordinances by American League.
Codification of the ordinances by American League.
Right. Did I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? No discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll get right on this. Now, we need cameras at Leonard Park and at the west side of the lake. But we might be able to do without the west side of the lake right now, but we definitely need cameras at Leonard Park. And while we're talking about cameras, we need cameras at the museum, at the front of the museum, right?
I think that while we're looking at it, west side of the lake needs to also take precedence just due to the fact of the amount of vandalism that has taken place over the past 3 to 4 years that I've been in office. If we're going to spend the money, we need to look at that as well.
Well, we can do that.
Is that the side that's on I call it Franklin
Well,
side?
if
closest to
Franklinville don't
Franklin.
have a side, but it is
It
on
is
the west
on
side.
okay,
Yeah.
that's the west side, okay, yeah.
Yep. So, and while we're talking about the museum, it's 2 doors that's gonna have to be repaired. I don't think they can, I believe they need to be replaced.
They're old.
Yeah, the glass one and the rear one, right?
The real one opens. I don't think it has a problem that I know of.
What was, I thought they, didn't, what come up about the back door at the museum?
The sergeant recommended that something be done about it because it's.
It actually,
It's old wooden door.
it actually needs to be a metal door, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it has a big glass in it, don't it? It'd be fairly simple to break and get in the building.
So both of them need to be metal doors. So we need to find someone, and I've talked to 2 or 3 people, and all I hear is bin swinger, but, phew,
You're gonna pay there.
huh?
You're gonna pay there.
I know, I hope we can find somebody local that can do that.
They can get some informal bids on that, can't they? I mean, you can get some informal bids,
Any contractor should be able to put them in.
Yeah.
move office, Carol, take care. Well,
The problems came up, Mayor, if I might mention, because the alarm system kept
Kept,
going off.
yeah,
And it was false alarms every time, but the sheriff's department, they were down here at the museum before the call even came into them from 911. They got there that quickly. But like I say, it's all been false, but you never know which one is not gonna be false.
well, and you don't know what's causing the false alarm.
Right.
You don't know
Yeah.
what's,
Could it
that's the
be-
reason we need the
Could
camera.
it be the wind?
Well, it's a possibility.
Yeah, we've had the
Yeah.
alarm company down and they thought they fixed it and
There
the
is-
alarm went off the very next day.
There's some mice in there too. I don't know if you've seen them. There's some mice
Mice.
upstairs.
Well, as long as they don't come downstairs.
I'm just saying, they're upstairs. They probably downstairs.
They done came down
Well,
the
I'm just saying,
steps.
that I don't, if they run across one of them
The
top
wires.
beams and hit that motion detector.
Well, here's the deal. What do you say I call 3 or 4 contractors and ask them to come and look at the doors and give us an estimate? And you guys give me the authority to use not necessarily the
Cheapest one.
cheapest one, but the one I think's the best estimate. Would that work?
As long as it doesn't exceed $1,000.
It'll be more than $1,000.
It'd be more than $1,000.
I guess just, we can always make that call when it comes in, so we should stay in the standard for voting, but yeah.
I think there's
So-
some little
so-
money in
Or you
the
could put a
museum.
cap on it.
Oh, I can do that.
Should be.
I
We
mean,
put some in there
it's
for
not a
the
problem. I can get
electrical, but I don't know if we'll get it done or
I
not.
can get it and bring it back to the, or we can call and tell the, well, we can do whatever it takes. We need to get it done.
I think we got some money there.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Oh, here's my budget.
You got 4,000 in capital outlay and 2,000 in maintenance, 2,700 in maintenance.
Yeah, we're only, on the museum, we're only at 14% of budget to actual for the whole year.
that ought to be
And at this point in time, we could be at 50%, so we're way under budget. The only thing we've really spent money on is utilities.
I don't know about the camera.
And
Well, I'll call around. We can talk about it. I mean, I'll call around and get some people down here to look and get some estimates, and Then we'll-
Next meeting.
then we'll make a decision. Because it's not long till our next meeting.
that's true.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it'll be a struggle to get 3 or 4 contractors to look at it between now and then. Okay. So we need to, what about the camera deal?
Yeah.
Do we have someone that does that for us, or do we,
Ashburn alarm.
Ashboro, is it Ashboro Alarm?
Alarm Electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have done it before.
okay, so,
Is it required to have Wi-Fi?
Yes, we wouldn't have Wi-Fi. at the
They'd have to be
museum.
DVR'd,
Oh.
yeah. Is there phone lines in that museum, do you know?
I guess there is.
'Cause
I
we're-
mean, when I use my phone over there, it asks if I want to connect it to the police Wi-Fi, which I know is not there.
It actually,
yeah.
So we still have Wi-Fi there?
the router is active for students.
Well, who and how we paying for that?
I don't know.
I didn't understand what he
The
said.
Wi-Fi's working in there, there's a router upstairs. Interesting.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Well, there's Wi-Fi there, so.
Okay, so we'll call Ashboro Alarm.
Anybody else that does cameras? Local.
Give them a couple of names. I'd give them a couple of names, they got them
I
local.
don't know anybody else.
Next we have the, when I get those prices, I'll also bring those back. Next, the lake warden job has been posted on the website and the Facebook, January the 16th. And next, this Curtis Street thing, there's been a grave misunderstanding. I've been running the ground on Facebook over this, and I know that JC wouldn't have done that intentionally as much as he thinks of me.
I didn't put it on Facebook.
Well, okay. Here's the deal. In June the 20th of 2023, the town board voted for Randolph County to make our addresses in Ramseur 9/11 compliant when that thing arises. Well, what happened on Curtis Street is there's a vacant lot and a guy wanted to build a house. Well, before I knew of this, I asked them just to back two numbers up and add a number for that house, which they could have done. But they said that that wouldn't make it 911 compliant. The county suggested that we do the whole street, and that's the way it happened. And here's the agreement that was passed. June the 20th of 2023 between Randolph County and the town of Ramseur concerning address and responsibilities. It's a small book. If anybody that don't remember that, I don't, because I was not the mayor. So the numbers, I'm telling you, there's a lot of this gonna happen in the future, and the people in Ramseur may as well get used to it. Our street numbers are gonna be 911 compliant. Now, there's some of them that are. My street is, Jordan Road is. There's several streets that are, but there's the large majority of them are not. But they're gonna have to be changed. So we're gonna get a lot more phone calls. So that's the, I just want the people to understand that, that's what happened. That's the deal about the, and I gave Sergeant Moore a list of paper and asked him if he would get the speed limits on our streets in Ramseur. And we're doing this because of the codification of our ordinances. See, that has to be done so they can, a ticket will stand up in court. Is that not proper, correct? And if that's not done, there's no, they can't, the tickets are no good. So he did it, I think, in about Deputy Cole did a large amount of the work, that's what he said, and he found out some inconsistencies and that kind of stuff, but there's 36 streets that don't have posted speed limits on them. And in 2018 or 2019, like I'm saying, I wasn't here then, I was told this by the Public Works, the utility director, that he thought that the town, he knows they discussed it and thought they had voted to put the speed limit sign, they make all the speed limits 25 mile an hour on these streets in Ramseur, except like Main Street's 20, North Brady's 15, and Moffett Street's 15. And the rest of them are 25. Well, and according to him,
Except the state maintains.
right, now the state maintained roads are 35. But according to him, they bought signs and started putting them up, and he said he had no idea what happened, they just, all that stopped. But we need I believe it was 117 signs or something.
Do they still have them? Do they still have
They
them?
got some, they gonna put those up, but,
Okay.
but we're gonna have to order some more, and that's what I'm doing now, is when I find out how many I need the board's permission to buy them. And the sign shop left Ashboro, I believe is in Carthage. And we could probably get those signs from the state cheaper than we can buy them from an independent contractor, don't you think?
I think so. You have to check and see.
Well, I'll find
Yeah.
that out. I'll get Jason to check with that, and then, and in this codification, we're gonna have to do the lettering signs that we have, that's got like $250 fine. We need to change this to the state standard, which is, it's a $250 minimum and $1,000 maximum for the first offense. Second offense is $2,000. And all these offenses carry community service with them, along with the fine. I believe it says that. I don't think it said and or. I believe it's and.
Littering also carries 1 point on your driver's license,
Yeah,
unless they changed it. I'd have to look. They did that some time ago.
but yes, I read that. But all these things have to be codified to have any
Yeah.
merit.
Is it only just one sign per street?
Is it going what?
One sign per street?
No,
Or it has
two.
to be two?
Two. Well, I've lost something. I had the police report that the sergeant sent me, and I evidently lost it in this pile of papers. But I think Deputy Cole stopped made 134 traffic stops and wrote 108 citations for the month of January. And then they did a bunch of, there's a mess of other stuff, like a 9/11 hang-ups, assaults, and ATV services, EMS assist, and burglaries, and just regular stuff that they did. And I just want to tell them how much the town appreciates their effort. And next, we'll go on. And next, we'll do, Public Works, Water and Sewer. Mr. Pell.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that Greg was on the water and sewer commission too.
Yeah.
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 Well, we met with Wooten on the 14th, had a Zoom meeting. He brought us up to date on all the work that's going to be done. And we had a pre-bid meeting today. Potential contractors were here, and they looked at did a tour of the water plant, said the bid date is February the 14th, and they could start work 30 to 45 days after they release the contract. And they've already utility location people have been here. They've got surveying in progress, so they're ready to start when the bid gets done. And the bid's gonna be held here at 2:00.
And is this for what work being done exactly? Is that as far as them mapping out where the lines are gonna go, across what properties and whatnot?
Yeah, I got that also. But the work at the water plant's updating the tanks, all the equipment over there gets updated. They've got a list of,
And they changing the way they treat the water from chlorine to
Right,
chloramines.
because we're supposed to make
they're
that
changing it
compatible
to
with
that
Asheboro.
ammonia feed system,
discussed that
and that
in
way it
conversations
matches the
about that
Asheboro
in the
water.
past.
Yeah. And the county's gonna be doing the line, we're gonna be doing water. It's gotta run at the same time, so they've got 180 days to get that
Yeah.
work done. So it all matches, all
There-
the water matches at the same time.
What the town's doing, I think it's like 27,000 foot of water main they're replacing.
Yeah, I did not get a sheet of
I
actual
think
specifications.
isn't that what Jason said? I believe it's 27,000 foot. I think that's it.
Yeah, they were gonna furnish us with the summary of the work, but he didn't have that here, but I can go online and find it. And talking about the right-of-ways, we've got the easement progress. We've got 22 parcels that you have to get right-of-ways for. And our mayor has already negotiated verbal promises on 18 of the 22 parcels. And Telex quoted to do 4 parcels, and to negotiate those 4 parcels was $14,000, or $3,500 each. So if the mayor's already done 18 of them, he's saved us a lot of money, thousands of dollars, instead of using Telex to do all the work themselves. So
Yeah, they initially wanted $87,000.
$87,000 to do all that. So now their contract's like $34,100.
And all they have to do is what, that last forward is lift over?
They gonna do the 4. I
four that you did, yeah.
talked to all of them except one piece of property over on Dixon Street. I couldn't, where the McCoy family used to live.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the owner.
We're doing title searches on all.
Yeah, I went over on Jennifer Drive and talked to the
Compare the
people that lived there,
Yeah.
and they didn't know.
I've talked to John Gray. I think, we'll verify that people you talked to
Then there was some of
on
them,
the same page.
we didn't have the maps, so I couldn't do that stuff, that easement stuff, you know.
No, they're working on those surveys.
But I did meet Carter. I didn't know Carter Mitchell until I met him over at the cemetery the other day and talked to him about them. And so I think of course, they're going to, after they do all this stuff, they'll give this stuff to me and and I'll hand deliver the document for the signatures, right?
Well, yeah, if we're getting, permanent stuff, it'd be like a little closing. I'll call you.
Okay,
The board will approve it and everything. I think that it's already in the, what John Gray said, it's already built into the money that came from, Raleigh through DC, I guess. And, just to make sure we got the right owners. You
Just
run it, when you talk to people about right-of-ways, you'll have two people come to you, my sister and I own the land, and then you find out they had 6 children. There were 6 children.
yeah,
4 of them predeceased these 2 sisters, and so all the heirs of those people, there's no will, they have ownership too. So you have to peel back the onion a little bit. We ran in that doing some sewer over there many years ago.
you know, I've talked to people that run water plants all over the country, and it's really hard to send out really good water all the time. It's just about impossible. But with our system in the shape that it's in now, you know, the job that those guys do is really astronomical. But after we get all this stuff replaced, it ought to really improve our water quality. I think it will. And I want to back up to the lake deal.
She had a question.
Oh, go ahead, Carl.
Which properties are under the 18? Was my property under the 18 or under the 4?
18, because after I talked to you, I
I just didn't want the town spending fruitless money.
Right.
Because I think this is something we can
Right.
work out.
Right.
We've talked it,
right, I'll talk to you again.
and we're just talking about zero Ramseur Lake Road, correct? We're not talking about anything downtown yet, right?
Ramseur Lake and over by the cemetery. Where
Okay.
I think she owns,
No, so actually, it's funny, he said that, yeah. So my sister and I used to own it all, but I bought her out. And I got
okay.
I got the documents. To get it before
okay,
now.
yeah. So we'll need there too, because that right of way is only 40 foot there.
Right, so, like I said, there's just some things that I'd like to request from the town.
Right.
And it's zero Ramseur Lake Road, probably 1396 Church Street, probably 1398 Church Street, probably those two. It's probably 6 or 7 parcels that it runs through a month, so, and I am 100%.
Yeah, we'll be able to.
Just
work
make
it
sure
out.
those deeds are recorded.
I can go take it there, and it doesn't matter even if they weren't, my sister's gonna agree to anything.
Right, but we're doing title searches now, that would be helpful. If you get them.
Well, I've got the documents, actually in Ramseur Lake Road, so I mean, if I need to get those to you.
It's right across from
Thank
the
you.
courthouse.
We
near the
appreciate
old-
that.
The old courthouse.
I want to back up to the lake. I don't do Facebook, but I hear all this garbage, all this stuff on Facebook, but we need to hire employees. The town tried that. They tried it for years till I got to be the mayor in '95. And that's when we hired Barry Richardson as the lake warden. Okay, then you could just hire somebody. But then they changed the laws and they have to be a contractor. Then they have to have that liability insurance, which is really not that expensive. If we hired employees to do the lake, it'd cost $75,000 per employee. That's salary plus benefits. That's $15 an hour plus benefits. Would be $75,000 a year. If we have to have 2 employees, that's $150,000. We look like a bunch of clowns. If we can't get a lake warden, we'll lock the doors and maybe somebody from Public Works can go up there once a week and go up to the lake to make sure that people aren't doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing on the banks. But we absolutely cannot afford $150,000 a year to keep a $30,000 a year income alive.
sorry to keep saying, but have y'all, has the town considered leasing it to a private entity that would obviously take the revenue and then, you know, y'all be making money?
Yeah, we had someone years ago offered to do that, but of course, then we had somebody that was, and I can't think of who it was. But there's people that do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my dad had mentioned it before, and I think I know some people. I'll
I
look
think
back
as
into
opposed
it.
to shutting the doors to the lake, since it is an amenity to the town, I think it would be beneficial for us to explore that idea, or that avenue.
I can.
I would
I'm gonna-
entertain that
sorry
idea.
to interrupt, but I'm gonna come to every meeting going forward now, so I can bring some stuff.
Okay.
You know, I work out of town, so I say that, I probably won't be every meeting, but I'm gonna come as much as I can. So obviously, I've got a lot invested in this town, and it benefits me for the town to grow, and
Right.
I'm all for that, but especially the lake, obviously, I'm next door to it, and right next door to it, so, yeah, I mean, I can talk to some people, but that was something that my dad had mentioned. I think it's a great idea. Instead of spending money, I mean, and it probably wouldn't be much. I mean, I don't know what you would lease it to, but at least you wouldn't be
Right.
losing money. I mean, $1 would, I don't know what it would be, but $1's better than paying money. in my
Yeah.
opinion, or closing the doors. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the big things from Ramseur. I mean, that's one of the hidden gems, in my opinion, of Ramseur.
I agree.
So,
It's an amenity to the citizens of the town. That's something that we need to focus on keeping open.
I really hate to see it. I would hate to see it.
But there's no.
Joy, have you talked to anybody or interviewed
I
anybody
actually have, I've
about,
inquired several throughout the town, but seemingly no one's
right.
interested. Yeah.
You can't, they've never knocked the doors down wanting a job. Because it's pretty, it's not hard work, but it's a lot of hours. Takes a lot of time. But
Now, are
there's,
there restrictions, I'm sorry to interrupt, are there restrictions with the boats on there? Now, I know that we're changing with, now that the water's coming from Ashburn, I know that was always the reason that it had the horsepower restriction. Is that still gonna stay the same since we're
no,
getting,
it's, starting in March, it's electric only.
okay, but is there a horsepower limit on the,
We'll still be 10 horsepower, but it'll be electric only. The only gasoline motor that'll be on there will be the rescue boat, the warden's boat. And it wouldn't be if we could afford to buy one, but you know how expensive those things are.
right?
Well, but the hiring a warden or leasing it out to somebody is the only answer, because hiring employees to run it, that's just not something that'll work. When they did that before, we had one employee that was really good, but we had others that it didn't work out so well. Then we got Barry to run it, and everything's been fine since then. It just gets to be too much work for. Anybody got anything else? Did you finish, or did I cut you
I
off?
finished.
Oh. I
Finished
thought-
with everything I knew.
Okay,
Did I miss anything?
thank you. You done really well. January 25th, the Ramseur Community Museum will be open from 10 to 4. February the 18th, the Sheriff's Department open house at 5 o'clock. Please, everybody be there and bring a friend. Or 2 or 3 friends if you got them. And then our board meeting will be at 6:30 that day, February the 18th. That's all I have. I'd entertain a motion, we adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion carries.